Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Let's jump back in the queue and see how we do. I've got to get some episodes recorded. We are quickly catching up on YouTube. What is published is catching up to what is recorded. A disaster. It means I have to actually record episodes. How terrible. Of course, I enjoy playing Prismata, but it is, you know, it's a lot more work to commentate, to play mindfully, you might say. And also play ranked. I don't play a lot of ranked off camera. It's stressful. Like, ugh, I don't know. I think I mentioned a while ago that I briefly tried to get good at StarCraft 2, and like, oh, that was when I first discovered, like, I started playing, I was like, of course, you just hit play, and like, you play, what's the big deal? Why does, like, what is this thing, ladder anxiety, that people have discussed? But like, I don't know, you invest some of your sense of self-worth into like how good you are at something when you're trying to be good at it. And in a ladder system that's designed to make you win exactly 50% of your games, it can feel pretty scary to hit that play button. Or whatever the button was called in StarCraft 2, you know, Q, I don't know. Probably play, right? That would be the reasonable thing to call it. Slow queues today. Apparently the other day they had an issue where their matchmaking server crashed and like you could log in and you could enter the queue, but like it just never found you a match. And that caused the number of users online to plummet. That was a couple days ago though, so it shouldn't be affecting today except in like the sense that people reduced confidence maybe? I don't know. Okay, so this is all like, these are all pretty good units here. Even Husk is like alright. Blue-green is sort of natural, but honestly like blue-red or blue-green-red, these are all like very cheap ways to spend your techs. You could go tricolor on like, I don't know, 15 drones or something pretty comfortably. I don't think breach-proof is a thing, but... And every field is not great. It's just like extra wall supply that uses green, and I don't know if I really like that so much. I think I'll have plenty of wall supply. Okay, in every field, we'll probably see some play, but it's not something I'm going to aim to incorporate. The question is, on turn 2, am I building a conduit or not? A natural turn 2 play for Hellhounds would be like just double drone, and then turn 3, drone conduit, drone blast forge animus, for example. But I think we don't need to be quite that fast. I think we can build a conduit, and then a blast forge, and then an animus, and like we'll be fine. I'm always going to be happy to have green. There's good green stuff here, and I'd like to get out at least one urban sentry. But I'd like the bulk of my attackers to be like Hellhounds, maybe Tantalum Rays? It's hard to see myself getting that many Tantalum Rays, right? Because you need to spend like $9 on Hellhound Tarsier every turn. Red first. Interesting. Okay. I feel okay against red first. Like, yeah, you get Tarsiers, that's cool, but you're gonna have trouble fitting in blue or green into this, aren't you? And like, this is not a Tarsier set. Okay, yeah, sure. This maybe is not so bad for my opponent, now that I look at it again. I think I'll just build a few more drones so that I can like one day squeeze in a Tantalum Ray or something. I could consider floating to buy one next turn, or even buy a Gauss Cannon now, come to think of it. 13 is enough drones for what I'm doing. I wouldn't mind the occasional $16 turn to get like a Tantalum, a Hellhound, and a Tarsier, but I don't think I necessarily need a lot of such turns. Maybe just slapping down a Gauss Cannon here is the way to go. It's over the absorb barrier already. Yeah. Sign me up. Right? Yeah, I love that he's having to build wall, not Hellhound, right? I mean, I don't know. He gets to build 2 Tarsiers, that's all very lovely, I'm sure, but you'd rather be building Hellhounds anytime you can, right? Probably attacking for... Next turn, this will be out of charges. This is 3, 5. Probably 1 Hellhound is 6. So just a wall will defend pretty comfortably with this Hellhound, with this Engineer that I have. And so I could drone if I want. Or maybe instead of wall, it could be a Nervy Field. That would be, what, 14 bucks? Hellhound, Tarsier, Nervy Field is 13, in fact. Yeah, so I can squeeze in this drone. And if I'm somehow, like, drastically wrong, I don't know, I can Force Field as well as a Nervy or something. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Or Husk, even, instead of Tarsier. I guess you could build a Rhino here. Yeah, you're kind of having trouble defending, aren't you? Gonna have to not attack with that Rhino. That's uncomfortable. $1 short of Hellhound, Tarsier, Tantalum, I suppose, but on the other hand, I wasn't going to be able to build that anyway. That's why we planned this. And I think I do want to replace this Engineer, right? Or buy another Engineer, I should say. Hang on. So he's attacking for, yeah, 6. So we're losing this. I could consider... He's probably attacking for 6, right? That's NG this, blah. What if I built a Force Field? Then I would have 4 defense... Yeah, if I Force Field, this Nervy Field will grow. And it's playing around this threat. Or I could just, you know, Force Field, offer a Gambit. But I don't think that's very good. What about this, though, right? Now, if he doesn't take the Rhino Gambit, my Nervy Field is worth 4 health. I rather like that. And now just a Husk defends. And I can, like, ram in some more attack. Gauss Cannon's maybe optimistic. Maybe I should just build, like, Engineers. But he's having a lot more trouble defending than I am. I don't mind, like... I'd like to put on some more pressure, I guess is what I'm getting at. And then I can transition to, like, wall. Oops, no Nervies. Yeah, so he's losing 1 attack here, almost certainly. And so in principle, I don't need this Husk. The Rhino sort of plays around the threat, but what else am I going to do with my red but safeguard my Rhino, right? Okay, great. That was a quick one. Wow, look at those economy graphs. We both decided 13 was the number. I built a 14th throne and then immediately force fielded it. I don't know if that was such a great play. Maybe it was. Who knows? So I think that this Animus First doesn't feel right to me. Of course, you know, Conduit First is more natural for player 2, but there's nothing wrong with, like, a slow Conduit from player 1, DD, DD, DDC, in a set where green is good, and I don't know. It's going to be tough to cope with what player 2 is putting out if you do that, right? It delays your Blast Forge. Well, no. The Animus delays your Blast Forge the most. That's why I was surprised to see it, is like, it's a very big commitment to spending gold at a time when you don't yet have enough drones for what you want to do. So you could cut these 2 drones and build a Blast Forge, and just be committed to, like, Hellhound, Tarsier, Husk as like your line, maybe a wall eventually. A more aggressive line. Or you could take a slower line, cut the Animus for a conduit or something. Neither of those feels great. I don't really like this Animus as the middle line, but maybe he was right. I don't know. Honestly, the player 2 stuff just like timed out perfectly without any real input from me. Urban Sentry is, player 2 has a very natural build for that, and you can fit an Animus in, no trouble. And having access to green as well as blue before player 1 was a pretty big deal. Right, because he built an Animus first, which meant he couldn't really build a Blast Force the next turn. So I was able to get like these 2 tech buildings before him, and he only got this one first, which is like not that great in this set. Red is fine because the Hellhound and the Husk is good, you want it, but I mean, you guys heard at the beginning, I was thinking of just going green-blue because like, hey, these are all good units. Do you really need red? And so getting red first, I don't know, I just don't like it. What about my line? This turn was all, yep, 100% on board with this. I'm glad I thought about whether I would need an engineer here. Decided I didn't. In particular, this drone that we bought sort of, in a way, turned into a force field this turn, and 1 health would not actually have been useful. It would have meant I don't have to build the Energy field, I guess. No. Yeah. Well, no. I wouldn't have needed the force field. I could Energy Hellhound Tarsier, same as I did, but the Energy would then die, right? It would be... Having 1 extra health, yeah, maybe that would have been better. I would have been playing Energy Field as wall instead of as Infusion Grid, and then I wouldn't have needed the Force Field so soon. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this Force Field. It turned my wall into an Infusion Grid, which is cool, but is that really worth spending a green, $1, and a drone? Probably not. I don't know. It was a 3 health force field in a way, right? That was what I was thinking when I built it. I don't know if I said that out loud, but in a way, it's a force field which gives an Energy field an extra health as well, which is like superb if you think of it that way. But maybe that's sort of a facile analysis aimed towards making me feel better about what I did, because if I didn't. I don't know, I was going to Energy Field this turn. Like, that was part of my plan anyway, so that I could get the Hellhound out, right? And the Tarsier. And then the only tech I have to defend is Energy. So I was thinking, okay, let's say that on this turn, instead of building a drone, I built an engineer. I'd have more defense, I would then be able to spend more resources on building attackers next turn. But 1 health wouldn't have helped. I'd still need to build the Energy Field, which means I could only build the same 2 attackers, Hellhound and Tarsier. Given so much, I think this actually sort of is a 3 health force field, and I should be quite happy to have built the drone last turn and the force field this turn. Yeah, okay, I think I like that play. Good Husk, let me keep building those juicy attackers for as long as possible. Still not sure about this Gauss Cannon, but... Yeah, I mean, the Gauss Cannon is a problem for me, in that it means I won't have a Nervy field next turn, which is something I'd love to have. Attacking him is great, but also I could just like build 3 engineers and then next turn add a Nervy field or something. What does that end up looking like? Supposing I do that. Let's say I just do like this, maximum defense. Here's him, now defending 1 less attack. Can he do something better about it somehow? This, I guess, is pretty reasonable. just at first glance. I don't know if it's perfect, but it seems okay. And now I have Enervy Field, Hellhound. It's probably past Tarsier time. It's Rhino time now. I mean, this looks pretty gross, right? Like, he can't be happy with his life the way things are going in this line. I don't know. So I guess what this points to is like both lines were winning pretty hard. I gotta say, this one looks better for me than the other did, right? Oh, I didn't make him build in an Enervy Field. Oh, he didn't need to, because I was attacking a little bit less. Force Field and Husk sort of worked out better. Well, that's the same amount of defense. Okay, well, whatever. It's similar. I have a lot of trouble defending this turn in the actual game line, right? I had to build Wall, Force Field, Husk. Couldn't build a Hellhound. Yeah, I think the Gauss Cannon was a mistake. I don't know. Of all the plays in this game, the one that I'm least sure about is this Gauss Cannon, because it seems to me like it's wrong, but I could easily believe that it was in fact correct, because it just applies more pressure to someone who's having trouble defending. I don't know. It's a tough choice to me. It seems like we're comfortably ahead either way, but who knows? And he gets up. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the endgame state, like he has 5 Tarsiers and a Hellhound, and I have 4 Hellhounds, 3 Tarsiers, and 2 Gauss Cannons. Plus an Urban Sentry, right? So clearly, like, I bought a higher proportion of good attackers, whereas he bought some kind of bad attackers, and very, very few things from the advanced set that are really strong, and I got, like, Sentries and Hellhounds. I don't know. So, I keep forgetting Escape R is not resign when you're in analysis mode. Wouldn't that be something to resign in analysis? You just give up. Wow, Mr. Guy is streaming. I haven't seen that in a while. How is he on the leaderboard these days? Number 1. Look at that. Why are you guys watching me? Go check this dude out. Anyway, watch. Or no, battle, ranked play. Yeah, we're in the queue. Watch. He's probably. Yeah, here it is. Ranked number 1. Kojito won a tournament over the weekend. The Prismata is a game of morale tournament. Defeating many strong players. So, well done, Kojito. What's happening in this game? Doesn't look like anybody's getting up to defense grid anytime soon. We have a double blue tech here. What's that for? Multiple Hellhounds? Could be. Or just Wall Hellhound? No, we're just ebbing. We're going crazy with the drones here. Mr. Guy doesn't want any attackers. I mean, you know, Bloodphage is an attacker, obviously, but, like, he's building a ton of economy. I think he's trying to get a defense grid, which surprises me a bit. But on the other hand, Kojito's attack is not permanent, mostly, especially now. But, like, the Hellhound is permanent, the Phage is permanent, but these Rhinos are on their way out? I don't know. Maybe you can get a defense grid against that. Pharrella song? Okay, what's the deal here? Is this a Deadeye set? I'm guessing no. Obviously, red-blue sort of calls out to us, and so I'd rather be player 1, sort of. Yeah, player 1 has a pretty natural turn 3 Blast Forge line. Into, like, Splitter, into Manticore, and then Bombarders, basically. Maybe a couple Tarsiers along the way. But what am I gonna do? Probably turn 3 Drone Blast Forge Animus is okay. Right, that leaves me with $1 and 12 drones, so I'll have 13 bucks. Is that right? 13 is not a very nice number to have. I guess Oxide Mixer is a good first attacker to go with 2 Tarsiers. And you can build another drone as well. Right? DBA 14. I'll have $1 left, and 12 drones is 13. TT 2. That seems okay. Yeah, TT2D. Okay, that gets me up to 13 drones. Seems uncomfortably low. I'd rather have more drones than that. To get bombarders going. Because it's going to be hard to fit in a second blast forge, right? And I really need a second blast forge. If you can't get bombarders this game, I think you're dead. Maybe I'll have to float a red at some point to make that work, but I mean, I just have to. Really? Yeah, of course. Splitter first into Manticore. I did say that, didn't I? I can build a Rhino here. It will definitely block 1 damage because he wants to build a Manticore next turn. Or I could just build... Yeah, this sets up pretty well for like TTW next turn. I don't want to give him a wall for his Manticore to run into. I'm probably just going to stick on Rhino Absorb for a little while so that Manticore clicks are less good. Yeah. Ugh, I'm really sad about this Manticore business because it's so easy for him to get bombarders this way, you know? This sucks. He'll be threatening 5 next turn? I guess I could build Bombarder, Husk, hold a Rhino. That doesn't even defend. I don't think I can build that Oxide Mixer. I need to like... I just can't... I have too few drones. I knew this was going to happen, and I didn't have a plan to deal with it. I can build a wall here, but then the Manticore click is disgusting. I could cut the Oxide Mixer. I don't think that's right. I think I just can't build the second Blast Forge yet. Which means I'm like never getting it, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I guess his problem is like Bombarder is kind of tough to build right now, isn't it? I get to kill some drones if you want to do this, even if it's or breach your Rhino for exact. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You're clicking the Manticore. Well, I get okay value from this, right? It's not amazing, but it's... I can live with it. I feel like I don't want to build any more... I'm thinking of floating this to like make it possible to get another Blast Forge for Bombarders. But I think I need one Engineer just for granularity's sake. I think I'm going to try this. Next turn I can build like B... Leaves me $9, huh? Jeez, not much with it then. BW double Husk or something? Or Tarsier? I don't know. But, we're sort of putting some pressure on him as well. I feel like he actually ought to hold everything back and click the Manticore. The Bombardier has done its job by pressuring me into building bad stuff. You don't necessarily have to... This is so greedy. These attackers are not the right idea. I think I just need a splitter to fall back on while I build a Bombardier. I feel like both of us are just on too few drones. Oh, please, let me attack you for exactly 3. No, okay. Wow. Oh, he's gonna do it. Oh, and his Bombardier ran out of steam, so I'm not even under any pressure. This Tarsiers too greedy. It should be a Rhino. We're building big rhinos. Let's build small rhinos too? Question mark. He threatens an exploit by attacking for exactly 1 or 0. Sorry, not 1. Exactly 3. Or he could attack for 0. So I could hold a rhino or a drone and like Tarsier to prevent this. I guess that's fine. Now it's not very good value for him to like spend $3 and a pixie killing my drone. But I have to hold the drone back, because if he were spending $3 and a pixie to kill a rhino, that might be good value. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I should have not held the drone back. Dared him to click. What's the exploit here? This is 1. He's attacking for 1 less. So I could do something like... maybe this, actually, to let me build more attackers. Splitter isn't really what I want, is it? Maybe just Rhino NG. He has an exploit here attacking for 6 or 9. But I don't feel too bad about where this is going. I think this Oxide Mixer is a mistake. It's just way too slow. Oh. I could do this, I guess. It kills the Rhino prematurely, but it gives me back some defensive tempo to work with, maybe? I could do this. Get another Bombardier out. All these pixies, he should be spending some of them, shouldn't he? Like attack me for 7 right now is the right amount. Wow, these are so slow. Probably splitter time? This is the kind of position where I would buy a Rhino, because like I want to attack Rhino over Tarsier. And like Splitter is a much better Rhino in a lot of ways, right? you can attack any number of times, and then when you hold it back, it's worth more than just 2 health. It's worth 3. Amazing. Can I not exploit by holding back my Bombarder? Right? Attacking for 5 makes him lose a Bombarder. Not enough granularity. This should have been a Husk, and these Tarsiers should have not been. Should attack for 8 here? No. I think this is better than Bombarder onto Bombarder because now I have a backline defender, but I'll think about it. Jesus Christ, 22! Alright, that's sort of a problem, isn't it? Okay. This? Yeah, I mean, he gets another Bombarder, but to do so, he gives me a wall back. I know this number is like fake. Really. Because this attack is temporary, but like, man, still feels bad to see such a large number over there. Instead of Husk, I could do something else, but what else would I do, right? Might as well build a Husk. Is that best? I guess it's fine. Oh, this sucks. I think I'm dead here. I don't know. That's true. It looked to me like I had more permanent attack because I have Tarsiers and Splitters, and he like didn't have any Splitters and had for a while fewer Tarsiers. But this Manticore's been going the whole time. His real attack is pretty serious. Yeah, I'm just not really attacking him. And I'm out of walls and I can't build more Bombarders. Yeah, okay, fine, I give up. So, I mean, the problem was building tech too early, and I knew that was a problem, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. Like, obviously, delay tech, easy. Like, that's why they pay me the big bucks to figure stuff like that out. But isn't that just kind of also bad? Maybe it's not. This attack is like not very convincing early on, and it made it really hard to get what I actually wanted, i.e. Bombarders. It pressured him, and I was happy with that, like this drone, but like, ugh, what I had to do in the meantime was just terrible. And I don't really understand, like, he was on the same number of drones. I guess, like, his Manticore was an economical unit for a while, making it possible for him to get out the stuff he needed and then switch back into attacking, because that's the thing about Bombarder is you have to spend a lot of money to get to the point where you can build Bombarders, but once you have Bombarders, they're very cheap to build. And so Manticore sort of fluctuating your economy is a very convenient tool to that end, which I knew. I said the player 1 build should be like turn 3 Blast Forge into Splitter into Manticore and then get red stuff, but I don't know what I was supposed to do about it as player 2. I'm sure there was something. This wasn't it. So what else? Okay, I mean let's just try something constructive. What could I do differently? Let's say I don't want this. Let's just try to mirror the player 1 line, even though it seems pretty sucky. He gets a Splitter and a Blast Forge, and I'm like, okay, me too. Splitter, Blast Forge. Animus? Seems pretty early. Drones? I'm not really gonna get the Manticore value this way because I'll have no defender and his Manticore will kill. Like, right? I'll have some serious trouble this way. So I don't think this is right. Maybe I can just build the Animus and say, forget your stupid Manticores. You want to build a Manticore? You know, fine. I'm just going to do Bombarders first. With a Rhino to defend the Manticore threat, I guess. Now, if he builds a Bombarder, it's really hard for him. Right? He actually can't do it. Well, he could do this. Seems pretty awful, down to 10 drones to get that Bombarder out. So maybe he doesn't do that. He gets a wall. And a Rhino defends. But 2 Husks probably better. But he's not really in a position to put more pressure on, right? Is there some way I could get out another Bombarder here? That would be just like devastating, wouldn't it? I'm $1 short of doing the obvious thing. I could hold back my Splitter to defend, actually. It seems pretty cool. Threatens him a little bit less. Maybe this could be a Rhino. But okay, like Tarsier. Now he can get out a Bombarder by holding back his Splitter and building a Husk. Although not if this had been a Rhino, right? And he does this, of course. I mean, this seems pretty serious, doesn't it? I'm not. Maybe the lesson to take away from this is like, just go for the line that seems, you know, a drone amount that seems good and the tech to support it to build the attackers you want. Don't worry about the fact that it seems like the other guy has a better line to get there. I'm sure an expert player would say, well, that's really the wrong lesson. You should figure out a line that counters the line you expect your opponent to take. But that's kind of harder. Maybe a reasonable rule of thumb is like, you know, try to get the number of drones you want and then build the stuff you want. I thought that wouldn't work because the Bombarder pressure from my opponent would be, you know, the Manticores would be too good for my opponent. But actually the player 2 line to get up Bombarders is sort of just fine without Manticore, so like I'm definitely taking a loss to not get it, but I get a lot of compensation from first Bombarder, and like it takes him a long time to get the train going. So I don't know. Bombarder's a tough unit. I still don't really understand it. Alright, rank 100 exactly. That's a good omen for, guess what? Ending the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.